I got the money, Jason, my sister sneered, and you got nothing. Then I held up her most priceless gift. Her face fell, and the room changed. I'm Jason Ward, 38, an archivist. My sister's greed, claiming our family's $10 million inheritance, gutted me. I thought family shared everything. Now I know. You fight for what's truly priceless and let greed destroy itself. The lawyer's office smelled of polished wood, the air heavy with anticipation as family gathered for our parents' will reading. I sat across from Claire, my sister, expecting a shared inheritance. Our parents' $10 million estate, built from their business, meant for both of us. At 38, I'd carved a quiet life as an archivist, preserving history while Claire chased luxury. I adjusted my glasses, hoping for a nod from her, a sign of the bond we'd had as kids. Instead, the lawyer read, "To Claire Ward, the entirety of the estate." Claire smirked, leaning back while I froze, my hands gripping the chair. "I got the money, Jason," she said, voice sharp. "You got nothing." The words hit like a fist, my breath catching, the room's silence deafening. Aunts and uncles shifted, their eyes darting between us, some nodding at Claire's victory. My pulse raced, her smugness burning into me. I'd spent years cataloging artifacts, honoring our parents' legacy, thinking family meant fairness. But Claire's greed, her cold dismissal, erased me in front of everyone. The lawyer's papers showed no mention of me, no assets, no memento, not even a letter. Her betrayal wasn't just financial. It was personal, a public gutting of my place in the family. Cousins whispered, their pity sharp as they avoided my gaze. She always wanted more, one muttered, but it didn't dull the sting. I'd helped our parents with their business records, stayed up late sorting their files while Claire partied, yet she'd claimed it all. My chest tightened, anger mixing with hurt. I thought family shared burdens and rewards, but she'd taken everything, her smirk a knife twisting deeper. I grabbed my coat, the lawyer's voice fading as I headed for the door, their stares heavy. I wasn't just hurt, I was furious, ready to dig for the truth behind her victory. Claire thought she'd won, leaving me with nothing but shame. But I'd spent my career uncovering hidden stories in archives. Her greed had lit a fire, and I'd find a way to expose her, to claim something more valuable than her millions. Something she'd never understand. Claire's greed stole everything, but it woke my fight. What had she hidden to claim it all, and what would I uncover? The drive home from the will reading was a blur. Claire's "I got the money, Jason" cutting through the quiet of my car. My hands gripped the wheel, the city's lights smearing past as her smirk replayed in my mind. As an archivist, I'd spent years preserving our family's history, letters, photos, business records. While Claire chased luxury, yet she'd claimed the $10 million estate, leaving me with nothing. At 38, I'd built a life of quiet pride, cataloging truths, but her greed had erased me. Her words at the lawyer's office, a public wound that left me invisible. I'd grown up with her, shared holidays, late-night talks, thinking family meant fairness. But Claire had always wanted more, her charm winning our parents' smiles while I sorted their archives. The will-reading silence, aunt's pitying glances, uncle's nods to her burned deep. My apartment was dark as I dropped my keys, the sting of exclusion heavy. I opened my laptop, scrolling through old family emails, searching for clues. Why had the will skipped me? My parents had promised we'd share everything. My pulse quickened, her betrayal sharpening my focus, then my phone buzzed, a text from Mr. Daniels, the estate lawyer. "Check the estate's records, Jason, there's more." My breath caught. More. I'd archived our parents' business files, but Claire had handled their final updates. I dug into public records, property deeds, trusts, finding a vague reference to a family asset not listed in the will. My jaw clenched as I saved the file, my coffee untouched. Had she hidden something? Her smugness at the reading, her rush to claim the money, hinted at deceit. Digging could break our family. Mom's old letters praising Claire, Dad's trust in her, years of tense dinners. My career was steady, but a feud could cost my reputation, alienate clients. I pictured her smirk, the lawyer's office, her "you got nothing." This wasn't just for me, it was for the truth she'd buried. Daniels texted again, "I can help." My throat burned. I'd spent my life uncovering stories in archives. Now I'd uncover hers, no matter the cost. Claire's greed left me empty, but Daniel's hint lit a spark. What had she hidden, and what would I find? My desk was cluttered with old family files, the glow of my laptop sharp as I sifted through estate records. Claire's "I got the money, Jason" from the will reading burned, driving every click. As an archivist, I'd spent years preserving truths, letters, deeds, our parents' legacy. But her greed had stolen the 10 Mellors estate, leaving me nothing. Mr. Daniels' hint about more in the records had sparked this, and now I was digging, my pulse racing. A scanned will draft surfaced, predating the final version, splitting the estate evenly. My hands froze. Claire had handled the updates, and the final will was suspiciously hers alone. I scoured deeper. Property records, emails, a notary's log showing irregularities in the will's signing. One document mentioned a consultant Claire paid to finalize the estate, a name tied to a shady lawyer. My jaw clenched, the pieces forming. She'd forged changes to cut me out. I'd trusted her with our parents' files, thinking family meant fairness, but she'd weaponized my work against me. Her betrayal wasn't just greed, it was calculated, a theft of my share, my place. Each file I saved, my coffee cold, was a step toward justice, but my chest ached with the weight. Emma, a colleague at the archives, met me at a cafe, her voice low. "I found something," she said, sliding me a USB, altered estate drafts, Claire's emails to the lawyer pushing for exclusivity. "She played dirty," Emma said. My stomach twisted, the cafe's hum fading. This was bigger than I'd thought. Claire's manipulation risked our family's legacy. I added her files to my dossier, my plan taking shape. Confront her at a family reunion, expose her lies. But doubt hit hard. This could break us. Mom's old letters praising Claire, Dad's trust in her, decades of strained ties. My career was steady, but a public fight could cost clients, tarnish my name. I pictured Claire's smirk, her "you got nothing." This was for the truth she'd buried, the legacy she'd stolen. Emma's eyes met mine. "She'll come for you if you do this." My throat burned. I'd built my life uncovering history's truths, but this one could unravel everything. The dossier grew, but so did the risk. To my family, my future. Claire's secrets were mine, but exposing her could cost our family. Could I strike without breaking it all? The faint scent of old paper filled my study as I sifted through boxes of family archives. Claire's "I got the money, Jason," echoing from the will reading. As an archivist, I'd spent years preserving our parents' legacy, but her theft of the 10 Miller estate had left me empty. Digging through estate records had uncovered her forged will, but a locked box tucked behind Mom's old files caught my eye. My pulse quickened as I pried it open, revealing her handwritten journal, pages of her dreams, regrets, and a note, for Jason and Claire, to share. My hand shook. The journal, a priceless piece of her Claire had hidden to claim the money. Emma's files had shown Claire's manipulation, altered drafts, payments to a shady lawyer, but the journal was personal, proof Mom wanted us equal. Entries detailed Claire's push to control the estate, her meetings to secure it. My jaw clenched, the betrayal sharper now. I'd trusted Claire with our parents' records, thinking family meant fairness, but she'd buried Mom's truth to fuel her greed. I saved scans of the journal to my dossier, my plan forming, reveal it at the family reunion, let her lies unravel before everyone she'd fooled. Emma met me at a park bench, her voice low. "That journal's dynamite," she said, handing me more. Claire's emails admitting she'd handled the will. Expose her and she's done. I drafted a speech for the reunion, my hand steady, picturing Claire's smirk, her "you got nothing." This was for Mom's truth, the legacy she'd stolen. But fear hit hard. Confronting her could break our family. Dad's old pride in her, Aunt's loyalty, decades of fragile ties. My career was steady, but a feud could cost clients, sustain my name. The reunion was weeks away, my chance to show the journal to those she'd deceived. I stored the scans on a flash drive, my resolve firm despite the ache in my chest. Claire's greed had erased me, but I wasn't invisible. I'd built a life uncovering truths, and now I'd use Mom's journal to reclaim ours. But the cost, family reputation, loomed large. The journal was my weapon, but Claire's wrath waited. Could I expose her at the reunion without breaking our family? The family reunion buzzed with chatter, the backyard filled with clinking glasses and laughter. Claire stood by the grill, smiling with aunts, her 10 Manellers inheritance fueling her confidence. Her "I got the money, Jason" from the will reading burned as I clutched Mom's journal, its pages my weapon. As an archivist, I'd preserve truths, but tonight I'd expose Claire's lies, forged estate documents, her hiding Mom's wish for us to share. I'd sent the dossier, altered wills, her shady emails to the estate lawyer hours ago via Emma's encrypted server. My pulse hammered as I stepped to the center, raising my voice. Family shares everything, I said, holding up the journal. Claire hid this, Mom's truth, her wish for us to split the estate. I read her words aloud, for Jason and Claire to share. Gasps rippled, eyes turning to Claire, her smile gone. I detailed her fraud, forged wills, payments to a lawyer, her greed exposed. My phone buzzed, Emma's text, lawyer got it. They're contesting her claim. A news alert flashed. Ward estate faces fraud probe. Her face paled, her glass trembling as cousins whispered, uncles staring. I'd lit the fuse and her world was crumbling. The journal wasn't just proof, it was Mom's heart, a truth Claire had buried for money. This was for her, for the family she'd deceived, for me. But fear surged. Claire was sharp, vengeful when cornered. She could spin this, smear my name, cost my archival work. My career was steady, but a feud could shake clients, tarnish my reputation. I pictured her smirk, her, you got nothing. The reunion's murmurs grew, some aunts nodding at me, others glaring at her. My triumph was real, her downfall public, but her rage loomed. Claire's eyes locked on mine, sharp with fury as she slipped toward the house. The backyard's energy shifted. Respect for me, disdain for her. My chest tightened, her betrayal heavy, but I stood tall. I'd reclaimed Mom's truth, but her next move waited. I gripped the journal, heart steady but mind racing. The fight wasn't over. Claire's lies collapsed and Mom's truth shone. But could I brace for the storm of her vengeance? The hum of my archive room was steady, a new project sorted as I cataloged a client's records. Weeks after the family reunion, my career as an archivist was thriving. New contracts, my expertise valued. Claire's I got the money, Jason, from the will reading still stung. But the dossier I'd sent to the estate lawyer had hit its mark. Emma texted, her claims under review. She's finished. Claire's fraud, forged wills, hidden assets was public, her $10 million inheritance contested. A headline read, Ward estate fraud sparks legal battle. Her greed was crumbling, and I'd sparked it with Mom's journal. Family shifted. Uncles calling to praise my reunion stand. Jason, you honored your mom. Cousins who'd cheered Claire now shared my work online, my integrity a quiet force. Claire's world was in tatters, her name shunned, her social circle gone, lawsuits piling up. I pictured her now, no smirk, no lavish parties, just scrambling to save her reputation. My discovery of the journal, Mom's wish for us to share, had outshone her lies, my worth undeniable. But the will reading's dismissal, her you got nothing, lingered like a wound I couldn't shake. The scars ran deep. I'd grown up believing family meant fairness, sharing late-night talks with Claire, only for her greed to erase me. The journal was justice, for Mom's truth, the legacy she'd stolen for me. But it fractured us. Mom's memory was tainted. Family gatherings sparse, aunts' texts short. My career was strong, but fear lingered. Claire could spin this, smear my name, hurt my clients. The reunion's respect, the family's admiration, was real. But her betrayal left a quiet ache. I'd fought to restore Mom's legacy, but the family I'd known was fading. I paused, my hand steady on a stack of files, the world quiet beyond my desk. The dossier's work was done, Mom's truth louder than Claire's lies. Her greed had fueled my fight, and I'd answered with justice. The cost, a fractured family, a guarded heart, weighed heavy, but I'd proven I was more than her dismissal. Claire's fortune was dust, and Mom's truth stood tall. But could I heal from the family I'd lost to her greed? A client's rare manuscript lay open on my desk, its pages a quiet triumph as I cataloged its history. Months after the family reunion, my career as an archivist was stronger than ever. New projects, trusted clients, my name respected. Claire's I got the money, Jason, from the will reading still ached, but the dossier I'd sent to the estate lawyer had crushed her. Emma's text sealed it. Claire's lost the estate. She's done. Her fraud, forged wills, hidden assets was fully exposed, her $10 million claim revoked. A headline read, Ward estate reclaimed after fraud. Her greed was gone, and I'd sparked it with Mom's journal. Family reached out. Aunts praising my reunion reveal, Jason, you kept your mom's heart alive. Uncles who'd nodded at Claire now called cousins shared my work online. Claire's world was in ruins, sued, shunned, her name poison. I pictured her now, no smug grin, no lavish life, just facing the fallout of her lies. Mom's journal, her wish for us to share, had outshone Claire's greed. My worth undeniable. But the will reading's dismissal, her "you got nothing," lingered like a bruise I couldn't ignore. The scars cut deep. I'd believed family meant fairness, shared memories with Claire as kids, only for her greed to erase me. The journal was justice, for Mom's truth, the legacy she'd stolen for me. But it broke us. Family ties frayed. Mom's memory tangled in conflict, gatherings quiet. My career was solid, but fear lingered. Claire could lash out, smear my name, shake my clients. The reunion's respect, the family's honor, was real, but her betrayal left a quiet wound. I'd fought to restore Mom's legacy, but the family I'd known was fading. I stood, my pen still, the world steady beyond my study. The dossier's work was done, Mom's truth louder than Claire's lies. Her greed had fueled my fight, and I'd answered with justice. The pain of her betrayal lingered, but my resolve was iron. I was Jason Ward, who'd reclaimed a legacy from truth, and I vowed to guard my worth, my work, my future, never letting greed define me again. Claire's world was ash, and Mom's truth stood firm. But could I move past the family I'd lost to her greed? A new archive project hummed in my study, the faint rustle of old documents grounding me as I logged a client's collection. Months after the family reunion, my career as an archivist was at its peak. Major contracts, my expertise trusted, my name a quiet force. Claire's "I got the money, Jason" from the will reading still stung, but the dossier I'd sent to the estate lawyer had buried her. Emma's final text confirmed it. Claire's estate is gone. She's finished. Her fraud, forged wills, hidden assets was fully exposed, her 10 Medicare claim revoked. A headline read, "Ward estate fraud ends in loss." Her greed was ash, and I'd sparked it with Mom's journal. Family called. "Aunts honoring my reunion stand. Jason, you saved your mom's legacy." Cousins who'd admired Claire now shared my projects. Uncles praised my grit. Claire's life was rubble, sued, ostracized, her name worthless. I pictured her now, no smug smirk, no lavish boasts, just facing the wreckage of her lies. Mom's journal, her wish for us to share, had outshone Claire's greed. My worth undeniable. But the will reading's dismissal, her "you got nothing," lingered like a quiet wound I couldn't shake. The scars ran deep. I'd grown up believing family meant fairness, sharing childhood dreams with Claire, only for her greed to erase me. The journal was justice, for Mom's truth, the legacy she'd stolen for me. But it fractured us. Family ties were thin. Mom's memory caught in conflict, gatherings rare. My career was strong, but fear lingered. Claire could still smear my name, shake my clients. The reunion's respect, the family's honor, was real, but her betrayal left an ache. I'd fought to restore Mom's legacy, but the family I'd known was fading. I paused, my hand steady on a fragile manuscript, the world quiet beyond my desk. The dossier's work was done, Mom's truth louder than Claire's lies. Her greed had fueled my fight, and I'd answered with justice. The pain of her betrayal lingered, but my resolve was iron. I was Jason Ward, who'd rebuilt a legacy from truth, and I vowed to guard my worth, my work, my future. No one, not her, not anyone, would erase me again. Claire's greed was dust, and my legacy stood firm. But could I escape the shadow of the family I'd lost?